Okay, so Millennial Manifesting Episode 1, this is how you receive your next $2,000. Now, receiving your next $2,000 from the universe, it won't come to you necessarily in a $2,000 chunk. Now, we can expect, I'm manifesting 2,000, it's going to come in from a $2,000 contract, or I'm going to win Tats Lotto or whatever. But realistically, your energy, if that's not a match to that, you're unlikely to receive a $2,000 chunk. You're more likely to receive an increment, and that's exactly how I did it to receive my $9,000. I did not receive $9,000, I didn't win Tats Lotto, I was just paying attention to what I was receiving and what was coming into my world, and I was feeling abundant, and I was making sure I was paying attention to my energy. I set the intention, and I was showing up for that every single day, and the opportunities that would come, I would see that as an opportunity from the universe, so I was able to step into that and show up for it and know that I manifested that, so therefore I was a match for it, therefore it was mine and it was on my path. So unless we're paying attention to these opportunities, it can't come to us. So I'm going to jump into the actual training. That was just a little bit of like an intro. So for you to manifest your next $2,000, and let's say it loud and proud that you're going to manifest $2,000 that is not your salary, that is not your usual income by the end of May. We're going to put a deadline on it. By the end of May, you're going to receive a special unexpected bonus, $2,000. Sounds pretty good, right? So first step, you need to become aware of your current money story. So this is where we're bringing in the physical aspects. We're talking right and left brain here. In the physical world, what is your current money story? Do you feel that money is hard to come by? You have to work super hard for money. You have a family lineage of thinking that money is really hard, we don't know how to manage it, money is for other people, money isn't for us. Pay attention to your money story. So whether you need to journal it, meditate, write, and that can feel scary. We don't want to become aware of our own limitations. We don't want to become aware of how we're self-sabotaging ourselves. But you need to have a look at what your current story is, because they're the actions you've been taking. And in that, that's what your energy is. So that's where we're bringing the left brain and we're bringing in that metaphysical element. If your money story is limitation, it is lack, it can only come in from my salary. I can only receive $900 a week in my salary, and there's no other opportunity for me to receive other money, then you're completely cutting yourself off from all the possibilities that do exist. Therefore, the universe can only deliver that limitation. It can only deliver your current salary. And also, it's coming up to bonus time for some people. We're coming up to pay rise time. So this is the time you really want to get into the energy of knowing your worth, knowing that you have an opportunity to show up in a new way for yourself, that you can deliver value in other avenues so you can receive more money. We're going to set your energy now to receive more money going into bonus and pay rise season for those who are on a salary. So have a look at your money story. Have a look at your family's money story, and have a look at the money story of your community. Who are the people you're spending time with, and are they only speaking lack? Are they feeling like they can't manifest money? Because you're going to be in conversation with people that say money's hard, I can't afford that, we can't go to that restaurant, I've got all these bills, things are piling up, I've got credit card debt. If they're the conversations that you're in, that's affecting your energy and that's bringing your vibration down. So have a look at what your money story is. So what I would do, I did tapping, I did meditation, I did journaling, and it was really confronting for me to see that I had a total limiting belief that I could only receive in my salary, because that's what I'd done for 12 years. I didn't know another way. And then I did EFT tapping to reprogram my thinking towards money. So have a look at your money story. Your money story is determining your energy when it comes to money. So if I've just mentioned, if your money story is limitation, your energy is limitation, therefore you're not going to notice all the opportunities that the universe is sending your way to give you money. Because someone might be talking about an opportunity that could be working online, let's say, but you're not going to hear that, you're not going to vibrate with that message, because you're just going to see it as for someone else, rather than I've now opened myself up for opportunities to receive money, then this is an opportunity for me to earn and receive money. Do you see what I mean? So our limiting beliefs and our story limits our perception of opportunities that would allow us to receive more money. And it could be a conversation around like working online as a VA or something. It could be going into an investment. It could be meeting some person who happens to be a money coach. You never know what the opportunity is that the universe is going to send you. But if you're not a vibrational match to that, because you haven't opened yourself up to possibilities, because you're living in a restricted, money can only come to me in this way and I'm shit at money, then you're not going to see that as an opportunity for you. And that's both our mind hasn't been trained to look for that opportunity, but you're also not a vibrational match for that opportunity, so you won't even receive it. So that's why understanding our money story when it comes to manifesting, even though that's a metaphysical principle, is so important, because that represents how you're showing up for any money conversation and opportunity. Now, the next is once you've identified what your money story is, I want you to get into what that feels like, and do that now. So if you're able to tune in to just how you feel about money, whether your story is, we have to work hard for money, money only comes to me in my salary, I'm terrible at money, as soon as my money comes in, it's already gone, I spend way too much money, I eat out way too much, I get Uber Eats way too much. Whatever your money story is, I want you just to become aware of that now and feel into that. Does it feel restricted? Does it feel limited? Does it feel fearful? That feeling, that is your energy of money vibration. So that is the energy in your vibration that you're showing up in the world every single day when it comes to money. So it's no wonder you haven't been able to show up for those conversations and those opportunities to receive, because you haven't been a match. And it's also, if your money story has been there forever and you haven't opened yourself up to new possibilities, then you've been carrying that around forever. So then you're bringing in the same repetitive situation. So if you haven't really been able to get much of a pay rise, or you haven't been able to, collaborate with someone to earn other money, and you've just been repeating the same circumstances time after time, year after year, day after day, you always have the same amount left at the end of the week and it's next to nothing, and you're just waiting for the next pay week. If you're repeating the same behavior and having the same circumstances, it's because your energy hasn't changed. Nothing changes if nothing changes. So know that your circumstance can 1,000,000% change. Mine absolutely changed last year from living pretty much pay fortnight to pay fortnight, because I was like buying all the fucking things, eating out all the time, getting Uber Eats when I could fucking cook. But my money story was that I have to spend and I want to spend to, I was trying to keep up with things, and that was my subconscious belief that I had insecurities and I just wanted the latest things to feel good, and I just wasn't connected with my money. And then once I made the commitment, no, I'm moving to Bali, I'm making this fucking happen, I have a money goal, everything changed and opportunities landed in my world that I would never have even been able to conceive of. And I'm still thankful for those opportunities now. So yeah, if your energy doesn't change, your circumstances will not change. But as of today, we're going to change your energy, so your circumstances will change, and you're going to have $2,000 by the end of May. Knowing what your limiting beliefs around money are and what that limiting energy is, I want you to become aware of it every time it shows up during the day. I want you to become aware of when you're in a conversation with someone and you're hearing about not being able to pay bills, or if someone's talking about having money and that's triggering you and your insecurity, I want you to recognize that energy, because this is the moment where you're able to see how you're showing up. You're able to see how you're opening up to these opportunities, or whether you're shutting yourself down, and whether you're continually, repeating the same energy and behavior. Next is, now that you're aware of what your limiting belief is and you're aware of what your limiting energy is, we want to make a pattern break in that limiting energy. So how do you go from noticing you're in limitation to then moving into abundance? Now, you won't be able to go from feeling, let's say, $0 on the abundance scale to jumping up to $1 million. It's not physically possible, because the energy has to increase incrementally. So you can't just go from, I'm feeling like a broke bitch, to now feeling like a millionaire. Like, that can't happen. But what you can do is you can open yourself up to possibilities. And when you start seeing $10 here and you get a $50 check here and you get a refund there, You need to start recognizing that they are coming into your world. Your energy is starting to vibrate higher. You're opening yourself up to these new possibilities. You only recognize that because you were a match for it. Therefore, it has to be yours, and be thankful for that. So how do we create that energy break from feeling limitation to opening ourselves up to possibility? We need to be thankful for what we have. I know it sounds like super, super cliche. Everyone's like, gratitude, gratitude. We're sick of hearing about gratitude. We want to know what the fuck else is out there. We want the latest thing to help us get our stuff. But I feel that we find gratitude hard because we have guilt towards not appreciating the things we've already, had in our world. We feel guilty like that we haven't appreciated these things, or I know that that's my story anyway. So recognize that might be your resistance towards feeling gratitude, but do it anyway. I want you to take that time to feel gratitude for having the latest iPhone, or having a roof over your head, having your bills paid, if you've got no credit card debt, whatever these little things are. Be grateful for every dollar you have in the bank. Because once we start feeling appreciative, hey Ash, once we feel gratitude, we're feeling appreciative for what we have. We're on a vibrational match for the things that we have. We suddenly aren't focused on feeling lackful and feeling like we don't have all the things that we want and what we're imagining. We feel like, oh, I do have things. I do have, I'm starting to lose my words, sorry guys. I do have these things that make me feel abundant, because in that abundance feeling, that's where you're changing your vibration. So getting into feeling better, feeling more abundant, feeling like you have things will raise your vibe. Then when you're showing up in the world, you're not going to be feeling as lackful and only seeing all the things you want and not having it, then creating a vibrational distance between where you are and what you want. So we want to now get into the feeling of being in abundance. So once you feel gratitude, you've raised your vibe. I now want you to open up to what the possibilities are, because you've now gone from feeling like $0 to now feeling like, oh, I do have stuff. So I've raised my vibe. I'm feeling more secure. You now want to open up to the possibilities of being able to receive. If you're feeling like, I'm feeling grateful for what I have, but I'm still feeling fearful. I'm still feeling fearful that I don't know how I'm going to pay my rent. I don't know how I'm going to pay for these bills, or I've got this thing coming up and I'm still not feeling there. I am grateful for what I have, so I'm feeling better, but I'm still not feeling, in alignment with that thing that I want. You need to get off the subject. You need to get off the subject of that thing that is creating fear within you, because that is lowering your vibe. And then you're also going to start looking for all the things that could trigger that fear to get even worse. Oh, I've now got this phone bill that's going to set me back even more. I now can't pay my rent. Or fuck, I just got a parking fine. There goes another $98 and that sets me back even more. You need to get off the subject entirely of not being able to, let's say it is not being able to pay your rent. Get off that subject, because that will dominate your vibration and it will bring in other opportunities that support that fear. So whether it's completely like, okay, I feel fearful that I'm not going to pay my rent, but I'm going to go for a run. I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to put on a podcast. I'm going to put on some inspiring Abraham Hicks, or whatever it is that makes you raise your vibe and feel better. Because if you can get off that subject of the fear, it's not going to dominate your vibration. Hey Mel. And then therefore, it won't be bringing in circumstances day after day that contribute to that fear. What also happens is the more you put your attention on things that make you feel good, it doesn't even need to be money related, just generally raise your vibe and make you feel good. That's when you start bringing in opportunities that are in alignment with that feeling good, which will then start to redirect you into the other direction. So does that make sense? If we have something that is fearful constantly in the back of our mind, like I have rent to pay, and you're showing up in the world, you're going for that walk and you've got this fear, and then you remember, because on the vibration of that fear is, fuck, I've got that phone bill to pay for, or fuck, I've got a parking fine. You're then carrying more of that fear and more of a lower vibration in everything that you do. You're showing up for that conversation in that fear. You're showing up for the beach walk. You're showing up to the basketball game, whatever it is, in that fearful state. And the more you're in that state, the more you're going to bring in those circumstances that support that vibration, because that's all the universe can do. It can only deliver to you what is a complete vibrational match. But if you're able to get off that fearful subject, even for a little bit, you're not pretending it's not there, but you're like, okay, I recognize I have that fear, but instead I'm going to think about some things that I do have. And that's where gratitude is really good, because it does pattern interrupt, removing that fear with the other possibilities of, I feel grateful for the fact that I have a brand new phone, or the fact that I was able to pay my rent last week, or I have amazing supportive friends, whatever that is. Because then you're starting to move into this other possibility and start to feel like, okay, things can happen for me. Things can come into my world. I do already have these things. I'm not just identifying only with this fearful part of me that's just like kind of coming in and consuming me. Because the more attention you give to that, again, that's your energy, and you're only going to get those circumstances. So if we're able to open ourselves up a little bit more, open ourselves up to what we have, open ourselves up to possibility, and just get our mind off that fear and into something you really love. Do something that gets you into your body. Dance, play basketball, go for a swim, go for a walk, call a friend. Move away from this energy and move into this possibility. Then in that energy, in that possibility, you're going to start detaching from that fearful energy and start opening yourself up to things that are more expansive and these opportunities. And in that vibe, it's not just going to be money opportunities, it's new conversations, new friends, being able to notice the beautiful clouds or the sun on your skin, or just these things that are a higher vibe. The more you can pay attention to these things that are making you feel really good. So if you put your attention to it, your energy is going to start to vibe with that. You're going to continually create more and more of a higher vibration, which you're going to start receiving information on that higher vibration, which is going to be the possibility and the opportunities. So basically I'm saying get off the fear, starting to ramble, get off the fear vibration and just start to open yourself up to things that feel really good. And in that state, you will start to receive things that are a high vibration, and the opportunities will start coming in. So you really just need to get off that fear, otherwise it will completely dominate your day and then dominate your life. Let's say you're out and about. I've got this fear of this rent not coming in, but I know if I'm in this state and this vibration, I cannot receive opportunities. I can only receive things that are a match to this fear, which is going to be money out, money gone, things to pay for. So I'm going to do things today that make me feel better. So you decide, okay, while I have this fear, I'm going to go for a beach walk. I'm going to put on a podcast. I'm just going to try and clear my mind a little bit. I'm going to have my feet in the sand, and I'm going to feel much more present. The fear might not be entirely gone, but I'm going to raise my vibe a little bit. So you're going out and about for your walk, and you find $10 on the ground. What are you going to do? Are you going to think, there's $10, cool, I'm going to go buy an ice cream? Or are you going to stop and pay attention to the fact that you had raised your vibration? You were a match to that $10. That is the universe giving you something that is a higher vibe, something that's going to help you, that you were a match for. If you were in a really fearful state and you were only limited, you wouldn't have even fucking noticed it, because you're too busy thinking about your fears, too busy thinking about, fuck man, I can't pay my rent, what am I going to do? I'm going to have to ask dad for money, da-da-da. You wouldn't have been present. You wouldn't have been able to pay attention to the cute surfers, or that $10 on the ground, whatever the things that make you feel of a higher vibe. Recognize that you saw that because you were a match to it, because you had raised your vibe. That is an opportunity the universe is sending your way. Then you decide, I think I'm getting bitten by an ant, sorry guys. Then you decide how much you want to milk that opportunity. Is that a $10 opportunity, or is that $10 that's going to live in your phone case for a few weeks? Which is exactly what I did. Over the Christmas break, I found $10 and I had that living in my phone, phone in the phone case in there for I think 3 weeks. And every time I lifted my phone, I remembered, I've got money on me. I've got $10 in here. But I also remembered that I was I was a match to an opportunity to receive a random $10. So it constantly reminded me that if I'm in the right vibe, I can receive. It was like pure physical evidence of that. So if you do find $10 on the ground, $20, $5, whatever, firstly recognize that you were a match to that. That was you raising your vibration, and the universe had to deliver. Recognize that the universe does fucking deliver. This ain't just some woo-woo shit and we just think that the $2,000 is going to end up in our bank account. It's going to come to you in these opportunities where you're a vibrational match. So if you were a vibrational match, $10, embrace that, embody that, feel really grateful and milk that opportunity. Have that $10 turn into a $100 vibration, turn that into a $1,000 vibration. If you can milk that for as long as possible, then, the universe will only continue to deliver more and more money to you. So anytime you have someone pay for a lunch, pay for dinner, you get a discount on something, you receive a refund, embody that feeling of abundance, embody that feeling of receiving, and absolutely milk it. And remember, in those times of doubt, when these opportunities come into you, so when you're fearing that rent, like, fuck man, I still can't pay my rent. Oh, but wait, that time I went for that beach walk and I took my mind off that fear, I got off the subject so my vibration wasn't so restricted. I started to open myself up a little bit. Then I found that $10. That's the evidence your mind needs to know that it is possible, that you can receive. Because at the start, it's going to be like, I hope Sam's right. I'm going to trust her. I'm going to give it a go. But when you start seeing evidence, the mind then has the data to know that this is possible, and it starts to continue to do that, and it starts to continue to look for opportunities that will then reinforce the new story that it's telling. So pay attention to every time you receive an opportunity to receive money, that discount someone's paid for you, because yes, that will reinforce your story. And then the more you reinforce that story, the more you reinforce your vibration. What else have I got written down here? Oh yes. Now that you're starting to raise your vibe, you're starting to pay attention to things that are coming in, opportunities, the $10 on the ground, the discount, the refund, whatever. And you're in conversation with someone who is super limited in their thinking. If they are someone that you're super close with and it's a friendship that means a lot to you, I want you to have this conversation with them, because that limitation is only going to affect your energy and their energy. Open them up to the possibilities. Now, it's not your job to change their vibe, but it's your job to control your environment. It is your job to take responsibility for yourself, how you show up in the world. And if that means that, you've got friends, colleagues, parents, for me it's parents, that constantly see limitations. Sorry, mum, if you're going to log and see this. But if they have fear of limitation, that is going to affect your vibration in the future. So you've now opened yourself up to possibilities. You're seeing evidence that this shit works. If you're then going to spend time with people that poo-poo that and bring that down and just think that it's not possible, your environment is then going to start dictating your vibration, and it's going to undo the positive work that you're starting to do. So you want to control your environment. So if that's having these conversations with people, it's like, I can't change your mind on that. I'm deciding that I'm going to feel something different. I'm going to open myself up to something different because I want a bigger life. I want to play bigger. I want to have the things that I want to have. I want to feel secure around my money and my life and the direction that I'm going in. I'm going to take control of this. You can have that belief, but I don't want to have this conversation with you because I'm choosing to believe something else. And I can guarantee you, when they start seeing your life start to change, they'll start asking you what you've been doing. I've seen it in my life a million times. I can guarantee you that that's what happens. Next thing to do is, you have a $2,000 goal. By the end of May, you're going to have $2,000 of bonus unexpected income. And back to what I was saying at the start, it isn't going to come to you necessarily. Some people might be able to get on the $2,000 vibe, got it, want it, got it, like Ariana Grande would say. But it's going to come to you in small increments. It's going to come to you in $50 here, $100 here, $500 there. I want you to write down every single amount you receive. If you received an unexpected discount on something, I want you to write that shit down. If you were going in, it's coming into winter in Melbourne, right? So you're going to start looking at winter jackets. You're going into Chic, you want to buy the latest jacket, it's probably like $279, but they have a random 20% off sale. You were going there to spend $279, but you're now spending $249. I want you to write down that $30 because in your mind, you had spent that. That was gone. But it's actually still in your bank account. So you received $30. That's equivalent to someone giving you $30. I want you to tally every amount that you receive for May, not from your salary. So if you get a new contract, that might be different. But if you receive, yes, discount, refund, find money on the ground, you win Tats Lotto, you receive a bonus, whatever it is, write down every single amount because that is allowing you to start noticing the money that's coming in, noticing the opportunities, raising your vibration, And then you're going to be aware of the money that is coming in because you're now connecting with your money. So by the end of May, you'll have $2,000. And if not, you're going to be aware of an extra amount that came in that you wouldn't have otherwise been aware of, and that you wouldn't have otherwise been a match for, and you wouldn't have been able to receive. And I literally do this, guys. Like, I say, I'm manifesting my next $2,000. I see it as done. I know the power of this. I know it can come in, and I know that it will come in. So when I have opportunities of $500 here or a client here or whatever, I write that shit down so I'm connected with my money, and then I'm connected with the opportunities and the possibilities that come in. What else have I got written here? The more you pay attention to the money coming in, the more abundant you're going to feel, which is going to continue to raise your vibration, which will mean that you will show up for opportunities and conversations in a different vibe. And don't be discouraged if you're, I want $50 and you're starting out and like, I'm going to receive $50. Thank you, universe. I know it's done. I know it's coming. But you find $10 on the ground. Please don't be discouraged when you see that. It's the same as having a $2,000 goal, but counting all of your $50, $20, $30 increments to get there. And it means that while you might not be the total match for that 50 that you had that goal for that day, but you received 10, that's fucking great because it means you're getting there. You are raising your vibe. Pay attention to the fact that you were becoming more of a vibration. You are becoming more abundant in your energy, and that know that you are doing the right thing. It is working. You are getting there. So don't beat yourself up for the fact that I set this goal and I didn't reach it, so therefore law of attraction doesn't work, it's bullshit, Sam's full of shit. It does work. It's not full of shit. It's science, guys. You can look this shit up. Like, everything is energy. It is measurable. It is science. So you being a vibrational match of $10 means that you're getting started. You're getting there. You're working up towards that 50. And you never know. If you were to then think, okay, I found 10. This shit doesn't work. I wanted 50. You've then lowered your vibration. Whereas you never know what could have happened, what could have come in later on that day to bring you up to that $50 goal. So you want to constantly stay in the possibility, in the vibration of possibility, because that's the vibration of abundance. And I think that's nearly everything. I know that I've totally rambled. I've actually been really quite sick the last few days, so I didn't write my notes last night. I did it this morning. Usually I spend a couple hours if I do a live. Like last time I spent 2 hours doing notes, so today it was like 45 minutes, and I know I rambled a little bit, but so it's just my Sophia, you can only earn a living doing an office job. That was me. That was totally me, because like I know you work in the city and I worked there for 12 years, and my thing was that I could only receive in my salary, and I didn't have these other skills. I work in a law firm, I work in admin, this is my job, this is how I receive money. What else am I supposed to do from my couch, or what other opportunities? The only opportunity I thought was Tats Lotto, right? I've bought many Tats Lotto tickets. I've never won more than like 100. But once I started realizing that money is just an exchange for value, money is purely just energy. If I could match to this energy, I'm the one that decides that it can only come from this employment. And then I started opening up to receiving, like, I remember, okay, so I was in Bali last year, super crying, like, I just need to make this shit happen. Like, I can't go back to like that old life. I'm gonna have to manifest $5,000. Maybe 2 weeks later, one of my really, really good friends who was filling in for me in like kind of effect, Maddie at my job, was then made permanent, which meant I got a $4,000 referral fee. I couldn't have like even conceived of the fact that Maddie would have been made permanent. It should have been something I thought about, but I hadn't, because I was like on a vibe of limitation. And then so I stated it, I let it out in the universe. Okay, I know this is going to be done. I know this is going to happen. Couple weeks later, Maddie was made permanent, and then there's $4,000 referral fee, right? So that was a big chunk of my $9,000 that I wouldn't have even imagined was a possibility. But once I set that intention, I saw it as done. I knew the law of attraction. I knew the law of the universe. If I become a match for something, it has to happen. And of course, the universe delivered. And it came, the other money came in so many other ways. Like that was just one example, and that was a big chunk of being able to, move to Bali and come out here. So just like open yourself up, like see what other opportunities. There's like the catwalk. We know what you can do, mate. You can do this. So get that walk coach happening. You're doing that, okay? So just open up to the other opportunities. What skills do you have? What value can you add to people? What value can you add to people's lives? And set the intention that you will receive, monetary commission for that. Open yourself up to possibilities of, I always buy that thing that I want at a great price. I never have to pay full price for anything because I know everything I want goes on sale and in my size. Start opening yourself up to these opportunities to save money. Opportunities to, I receive discounts and everything, or what else do I say? Everything always works out for me. That is like my motto of life. Everything always works out for me, because it fucking does, guys. Everything always works out. It might not work out in that moment. It might not work out in that time frame that I, in my mind, thought something had to happen, but everything always works out. Even manifesting this little apartment where I'm staying, I saw it online, I went to book it and they're like, no, it's all totally booked out, whatever, and I had the dates that I wanted to be here, and then I just knew, like, I had shown everyone this place, I knew this is where I was going to stay, because I had its own kitchen, it was really great price, and I wasn't going to have to share with people that I didn't know if I was going to even like in a big villa or whatever. And then right before I came, like last minute, I reckon it was a week before I came, it became available 2 days earlier than I planned to be in Canggu. I was going to be in Ubud. So everything always works out. So just know that there's possibility, and just see that everything always works out. See, you can do that. So Josh says that he's gone to a flea market to see what can be sold online. That is an opportunity to make more money. That if you're only in fear and you're worrying about how's the money going to come in, I only receive $1,000 a week and like I literally can't afford my rent this month, you're not going to get those ideas. You're also not going to be in the energy of even wanting to fucking go anywhere to go and buy something that you can like repurpose or resell, or you could reupholster furniture for all, like whatever's your alignment. But unless you're feeling abundant, you're not going to have these ideas of opportunity, and you're also going to feel shit at home. You're not going to want to go out. You're not going to have a conversation with someone that can lead to an opportunity to earn more money, to receive something, to receive a discount. How do you train your mind to think positive? Yeah, that does take work. It certainly does. But watch the replay of this so you can see what we covered at the start. You need to start seeing the evidence of where things show up. So if you're really in like a shitty energy, you're in a low vibration, you're stuck in fear, and you're then out and about in the world, you're only going to be a vibrational match for these fearful things. You're not going to start seeing opportunities. But if you can pattern interrupt that, you can say, okay, I'm feeling fear that I can't pay my rent, but I know this energy isn't going to help me, so I'm going to go out and go for a walk, clear my mind. I'm not pushing this fear, I'm not pretending it's not there, but I'm going to decide to look for other things. So you put on a podcast, you put on a YouTube, whatever, and you're just out and about in your day, and you're starting to see things that feel of a higher vibration, and then you find, like I used the example before, you find $10 on the ground. See that as evidence that you raised your vibration. I have evidence now that if I've raised my vibration, circumstances do come to me. And what the mind then does, it creates a narrative around that. You create neural pathways that if I raise my vibration, opportunities come to me. And in that, your mind will then continue to believe that the more you do it, the more you reinforce it. So the mind will know that if you raise your vibration, you will receive opportunities, and it has that evidence to back that up. Another thing I do, journaling, meditation, and EFT tapping. EFT is fucking weird, like it's weird. You tap on the meridian points. It's not weird for me now, but like at first you go through all of these. I thought it was weird, but it absolutely works. I follow along with Gala Darling stuff all the time. I do it when I'm driving. I do it anywhere. Like that really, really works. So look up EFT or jump in my DM and I can teach you that. I've been working with some girls this week. I worked with four clients, and we did EFT on their money blocks, and I can't wait to see what they manifest after dealing with that. But know that it does take work, it does take training, because there's two facets. You're creating a new narrative, which is neural pathways, and you're also raising your vibration the more that you think positive and engage with that. So when you see evidence that that support this more positive way of thinking, lock onto that. I want you to really pay attention to it and absolutely milk the fuck out of that circumstance, opportunity, to think positive, so you continue to reprogram the neural pathways to the narrative and the vibe. So I hope that helps you. So I had some of the questions. One of the questions was so someone wants to manifest $11,000 for a coaching program. So you need to see it as done, know that it is an absolute possibility that can come to you, and it can come to you in the increments. And 11,000 is like a huge chunk, right? So if you're feeling super like in fear or limitation, $11,000 is a massive, massive jump. So even if you feel like, and it sounds like I'm being a bit of a cop out here, but it's not, because you're raising your vibe in increments, so you create a different level of set point. But if you can see, I have an $11,000 goal, but I'd be fucking wrapped if I was able to receive $5,000 to put towards this. That then puts you in a space of feeling more like it's a possibility, therefore your energy is going to be much more in coherence with that, rather than feeling $11,000 is so fucking big, I have no idea how it's going to happen, and you're only going to live in fear and not in possibility for that to happen. My phone's telling me that I've gone over my social media limit today. I'm not surprised. So that's everything, guys. I hope that's helpful. I know I kind of rambled. I hope it still made sense. So just to quickly recap, you need to know what it is that you want to manifest. Your goal is $2,000 by the end of May of unexpected income that is not your salary. Understanding your money story, because that determines your money energy. So thanks, Josh. So yes, you want to know exactly what your money story is, know how you're showing up for money conversations, and recognize the energy of that money story, because that is determining whether you feel you're a vibrational match for something or whether you're not. And then you will either show up for opportunities to receive money or you won't. What else did I have? My mind's like all boggled. I've been talking for too long. Yes, so knowing exactly what your money story feels like and identifying all the opportunities the universe is sending money your way, and you want to get into that energy of feeling more abundant. And if you're feeling like you've got that fear, just like I can't fucking pay my rent, you need to get off that subject and get onto the possibilities. And then milk every opportunity when money comes to you. Say, thank you, universe. Thank you for sending more money my way. I know I was a vibrational match to that. I did this. I found that $10 on the ground